Hi, and thank you for joining me today with more Midlife Mindfulness with Melissa. I'm Melissa. I'm so glad you're joining us today. And in today's class, we started with a meditation which encompassed a body scan, visualizing the warmth of the sun. It's the summertime. Let's harness the warmth of the sun, shining down, starting at the top of our head, moving through our body, warming, relaxing, and focusing on each area of our body, all the way from head to toe. That got us into a nice, relaxed mindset, moving into our yoga practice, being conscious of our body and how it feels, and deliberately and mindfully attending to the parts that needed a little extra love. One of my students today told me that they had some issues with plantar fasciitis, so we addressed that as well, and maybe that'll be helpful for you too. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Thanks for joining. And check your alignment one more time, making sure you can feel your sitting bones. Your spine is nice and long. Your shoulders are down and away from your ears. Let's bring our hands to prayer position at our solar plexus and start with some gentle arm flows. So bringing the hands down, away from one another, up towards one another at the top and through the center, and maybe cycling our breathing in line with our hands, inhaling as we go up, and then in the center, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down, and at your own pace. And one more time. And slowly coming to stillness. Let's take our right hand and put it right beside our hip, about a few inches away, maybe a hand or a hand and a half width away. Take the left hand up and over for a nice opening of the left side body. Let's get some movement here. Float the hand back down, plant the left hand to the side, bring the right arm up and over. And floating the right hand down, left hand up. And other side, just a nice gentle flow from left to right. Breathing on the up stroke and exhaling as you bring it down, inhaling as you're coming up, exhaling as you're coming down, and a couple more times. One more time. Coming to stillness. Let's take that right hand and put it just a little bit behind us. Take the left hand and bring it to just above the right knee. We're going to do a twist to the right, but first we're going to elongate the spine. Maybe put a little smile on our face. And exhale and twist to the right. Gazing, if we can, over the right shoulder or in that direction. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist a little more. One more time, inhale. Exhale, right. And bring it back to center. Taking the left hand, planting it slightly behind us, right hand on the just above the left knee, lengthening that spine on the inhale, and exhale, twist left. Inhale and lengthen the spine, crown to the sky. Exhale, left. One more time, inhale. Nice and long, and exhale to the left. Coming to center. Let's take the head and put chin to chest. Feeling a nice lengthening in the back of the neck. Tipping the head up, looking towards that beautiful sun we started with today. Tipping it down, chin to chest. If you want here, you can take the hands and place them on the back of the head. Just to gently provide a little extra stretch, not too much. And then let those hands go and tip up, chin to sky. One more time, chin to chest. Hands on head if you like. And then tipping that chin to sky one more time. Coming to a neutral position. Let's take the right arm and bring it up and reach right hand towards right shoulder blade area. And we'll take the left hand to the right elbow and pull gently on the right elbow, bringing it back a little bit for a nice tricep stretch. It's not something I normally stretch very often, so it's sort of like, ooh yeah, I remember I have one of those. It feels interesting. And breathing through the stretch. And now leaving the right hand in the same position, bring your left hand behind you with the forearm up along your up towards your right fingertips. So we're trying to connect right and left fingertips, or at least move in that direction. You may connect fingertips, you may not. Either one is okay. We just want to get that nice opening in the chest, nice opening in the back, slight back bend, and increasing the mobility in the arms. Keeping that right elbow pointed up to the sky. And breathing, we don't want to hold our breath. And then relax it down, shake it out a little if you need to. Let's take the left arm, pat ourselves on the back, and then take the right hand to left elbow, pulling that left elbow back for a tricep stretch. Breathing through that stretch, trying to be mindful not to have the shoulders up towards your ears. We want to try and relax them down. Taking the right arm, bringing it back and up, trying to bring left and right fingertips together behind your back. Keeping the spine nice and long, left elbow towards the sky, and relaxing into the pose. Okay, let's release that and move into tabletop. And here we'll take our, we'll make sure our right hand and left knee are planted, and then lifting up right leg and left arm. This is a nice pose to challenge the balance just a little bit. And then bring it down. Alternating sides, so left leg and right hand up and out. Straight in front, straight in back. Abs engaged. Breathing in the pose, making sure we're nice and stable in the left hand. Spreading that hand out for extra stability. And bring it down. And let's alternate a few more times. Breathing as we go. Watching our stability and alignment, keeping wrist underneath shoulder, knee underneath thigh, hip. And then if we want to do a little bit more in this pose, we can extend right arm, left leg, and then bring it together into a crunch. Extend it front and back and down. And of course, if you don't feel like doing the crunch, well, the yoga police will not do anything about it. It's totally cool, as works for you. Extend or extend and crunch. And breathing as we go through the pose. Now, on the next extension, I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to do the next extension. If you want to try something a little bit different here, you can bring the right arm back, grab for the left foot, bending the left foot in toward the glute, and pushing back with the left foot a little bit, sort of kicking into the hand for a little extra oomph in the pose. Extending right arm, left leg forward and back, and then planting back to tabletop. Extending left arm, right leg. If you want, you can reach back with that left hand, grab right foot, kick into that foot for a bit of a quad strengthening, a little bit of a balance challenge too. And then let go and extend foot and arm. One more time on each side. Extend, and if you'd like, grab the foot. And if not, you can crunch. And if you don't want to crunch, you can just extend. That's totally cool. One more side. Now, let's have a bit of a restful pose after that kicking and extending and all that fun stuff. We'll bring our knees to the edges of the mat and then extending our calves straight along the edge of the mat as well. Keeping hips in line with knees, then walking the hands forward along the mat, lowering the chest down, relaxing the forehead down. If it's too much to keep the arms straight, you can always bend the elbows and rest your forearms along the mat. That's totally okay. If you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, you can just extend the arms straight ahead and relax your chest downward into the mat and breathe. The pose is called Mandukasana. And let's go back up to tabletop. Let's get some gentle movement into the spine. We'll drop the belly and lift the tailbone, lift the chin, lift the chest up into a cow pose. Exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking the pelvis, tucking the chin, cat pose. I can really feel my abs in cat pose. Dropping the belly to cow. And rounding the spine to cat. One more time, cow. Lifting that tailbone, pushing into the hands. And rounding the spine, tipping the pelvis to cat. Let's move to a neutral spine. And placing our weight more into the right hand. Let's lift the left hand up, fingertips to sky, then bringing it down across the chest along the mat, fingertips to the right, palm facing up, and then bringing the right arm straight out towards the top of the mat. Being mindful of where your hips are. Hips should be over the knees as best you can. Relaxing into the pose, perhaps moving the head a little bit closer towards the top of the mat to lengthen out the neck and the spine. This is thread the needle. Breathing and relaxing into thread the needle. Pushing into the right hand, coming back up to tabletop. And the same on the other side, we place our weight into our spread and secure left palm, lifting that right hand up to the sky, then bringing it down across our chest, palm facing up, onto the arm, onto the shoulder. Relaxing the face down into the mat, maybe encouraging it towards the top of the mat. Checking where our hips are at. And elongating through the left arm, fingertips towards the top of the mat. And breathing. And then pushing into that left hand, back to tabletop. Let's now sit back onto our heels. So bring our knees together, sitting onto our heels in hero's pose. Nice long spine, crown to the sky like there's a string. Placing the shoulders down away from the ears. Shoulder blades down your back. And Lorna, this one is for you and for Janet. We're going to tip forward, resting onto your hands a little bit, tucking the toes, and then sitting back onto the heels. This may not feel very nice for you today. And if it feels painful, then please, by all means, back off the pose. And you can back off the pose by leaning forward and then experimenting with what feels good for you today. So if you're here and that feels good, that's great. If you can sit back more, that's great. We're stretching, obviously, the bottom of the foot, which is really helpful for plantar fasciitis. And doing this a few times a day, you know, not to an extent that hurts by any means, but it's challenging and feels good, would be probably very helpful. And let's move back onto our hands, separating the knees wide. In case that was a little intense, let's take a little bit of a rest. We're going to bring our toes together, come back onto our heels and into child's pose. Arms long on the mat, fingertips spread and pointing towards the top of the mat, and relaxing just a little bit. And breathing into any part of our body that needs a little extra love right now, and maybe sending a little warmth and sunshine to that part of our body too. Now moving back into tabletop, let's bring the right leg out, straight out in front. Of course, if you need to bend the knee a little bit, please feel free. But we want to bring our leg to a fairly straight position with our right foot flexed. Half Hanuman. You're probably on tented fingertips. If you're not on tented fingertips, you could be on fists if that's easier for you. I like tented fingertips. Elongate that spine, and if you'd like, relax down over that front leg. And breathe through the stretch in the back of your leg. Coming up, leading with the heart to keep the spine nice and long. Taking that right heel, bringing it over to the left side of the mat for an IT band stretch. Elongating through the spine, putting the toes so that they're towards the center of the mat. And exhaling and coming over the leg. Trying to keep our hips square and central. We don't want to be falling off to the left side. Try to relax down into the stretch. Leading with the heart, coming back up. Bring the heel back to half Hanuman. So leg coming straight out of the hip socket, not off to one side or the other. Foot flexed. And now moving forward, leaning onto the right foot, bringing the arms up and overhead into crescent lunge. Feeling a nice stretch probably in the left front hip flexor, making sure we feel nice and stable in the right foot, feeling all four corners of the feet. And when you have all four corners of the feet sort of planted, you should be able to lift up your toes and feel still pretty grounded. Fingertips actively up towards the sky. And then let's bring the elbows down into angel wings, activating our shoulder blades, floating it up as we inhale. Exhale, angel wings. One more time. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, angel wings. Then floating the hands down to frame the front foot. Let's tuck our back toes and go into a low lunge. And then from here, let's hop the left foot forward a little bit. So toes are pointing at a 45-degree angle, sort of in the direction of the front left corner of the mat. Standing up, bending the right knee so that knee is over top of heel. Squaring our hips to the front of the mat. If the position you're in is a little awkward to square the hips to the front of the mat, you can always hop your foot forward a little bit or back. Slide, scoot your toes forward. Let's bring the hands up to a high prayer. Warrior one. Now pivoting the back foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Keeping that front right knee bent. Arms out into a T, nice and strong. You can adjust your feet a little bit. Sometimes it helps stability to have front heel in line with back arch, back foot arch. Fingertips, hands, arms nice and active in our T, making sure we can see our right big toe. If you can't see the right big toe, bring that knee more towards the right. Let's tip it back to peaceful warrior, dropping the left hand, bringing the right hand up and slightly over. Back into warrior two. Nice and strong, shoulders down. Let's pivot the right foot so that it's parallel to the left foot. They're both pointing in the same direction. Bringing arms up overhead into high prayer for star pose. Elongating the sides of our body while still keeping our shoulders down and away from our ears. And breathing into the pose, feeling the expansiveness of our sides. And breathing into that. Let's now pivot on the heels so that the toes are facing the corners of the mat. Left corners of the mat, top and bottom. Bringing the hands to heart center in a prayer position and then sinking down into the hips, into goddess pose. It's not a lovely way to think about it, embracing our inner goddess. Woohoo. We don't often do that. Being conscious of keeping the knees apart. We don't want them to collapse in. Spine nice and long, crown to the sky. You can sink down a little more if it's comfortable for you. Coming back up to star, feet parallel to one another. And let's bring the hands down to our sides and step feet together to Tadasana. So Tadasana, mountain pose, nice strong pose, shoulder blades together, opening the chest, shoulders down, crown to sky, feet about hip width apart. Feeling nice and rooted and stable in our feet. Let's sit down and then lift arms about 45 degrees out of our shoulders into a chair position. Keeping our knees hip width apart, nice and strong legs. Sinking down a little more if you can. Bringing the arms down, coming back up to Tadasana. Let's separate our feet into star pose one more time. Nice open chest. Let's pivot the right toes towards the front of the mat. Your right heel should be in line with left arch. Bending that front knee, let's go back into a warrior two, gazing over the right arm. Nice open chest. Strong active arms. Pivoting over to the right, bringing our hands to frame the right foot into a low lunge, and then coming back down to tabletop. Doing the same on the other side. So we'll take the left leg and bring it straight out in front. Feeling nice and long through the back of the leg, flexing the foot, toes to the sky to a level that is comfortable for you. Elongating the spine, and then as you exhale, coming down over the leg. And breathing through the stretch. Relaxing into the stretch. Let's take the left foot and bring heel over to right side of the mat. T-band stretch, left toes in towards the center of the mat. Elongating through our spine, strongly bringing the toes to the center of the mat. And on the exhale, coming down over the leg. Whew. One side may feel a little more exciting than the other. That's okay. Our bodies are not perfectly symmetrical. Focusing our breath on relaxing into the stretch. Leading with the heart, coming back up. Bringing foot over to half Hanuman, so straight out of that hip socket towards the top of the mat, foot flexed. Moving forward, rolling down onto the left foot. Coming into a crescent lunge, bringing hands overhead. Taking the time to feel stable in this position. If you want a bit of a balance challenge, you can grab your right forearm with your left hand and tilt to the left, keeping the shoulder rolled back. Coming back up, fingertips to sky. And on the other side, taking the left forearm with right hand and tilting to the right. Feeling stable in our legs so we don't tip over. And bringing it back up, fingertips to sky. Let's frame the left foot with our hands. Tuck our back right toes, lift that knee up to a low lunge. Then hopping that right foot forward and on an angle so the toes are in the general direction of the upper right corner of the mat. Squaring hips to the front of the mat. Left knee over left ankle, arms in a high prayer. Warrior one. Feeling nice and strong in the stance, adjusting your feet if you need to. Closer together if you're feeling wobbly, further apart if you're feeling like you could use a bit more of a challenge. And then pivoting on the right foot to bring right foot parallel to back of the mat. Keeping that left knee over heel, arms out into a T. Warrior two, looking over the left arm and fingertips. Really being open across the chest. Making sure you can see left big toe. Dropping the right arm, bringing the left hand back and over a little bit for a bit of a back bend, peaceful warrior. Bringing it back to warrior two. Imagining someone's pulling on each of your fingers, hands in opposite directions. A bit of a tug of war. Keeping it nice and broad across the chest. Pivoting the left toes so that both feet are parallel and facing the right side of your mat. Bringing arms up to a high prayer star pose. Extending the arms up towards the sky, elongating the sides of the body, trying not though to have shoulders too close to ears. And now we can bring our feet together, hip width apart to Tadasana. I'm going to turn around and face the camera. Let's root ourselves into Tadasana. Abs engaged, arms, shoulders down, away from our ears, arms pointing down. Feeling nice and stable here. Then let's bring the arms up overhead. Grab our left forearm with our right hand and tip to the right. It's a little bit of a balance challenge, but mostly a left side body stretch. Rolling the shoulder back, coming back to center. Grabbing the right forearm with the left hand, tipping to the left. Rolling that right shoulder back. Coming back to center. Bringing the hands down, back to Tadasana. Turn around so I'm in the same direction you are. But bring the feet more than hip width apart, back to star pose. Feet apart, both pointing to the right side of the mat. Arms in a high prayer. Let's pivot left toes forward, keeping right foot as it is, bending the left knee, bring arms to a T. We're back in warrior two, gazing over the left arm. And then windmilling the hands down to frame the left foot. Low lunge. Dropping the back knee and coming back into tabletop. And then crossing the shins and taking a seat. And bending the knees and putting the feet flat on the mat in front of us. We're going to do some boat pose. Good old boat pose. So we'll take our hands, grab the backs of our legs, just under our knees, and lean back. If you would like, you can now lift up your shins so they're parallel to the floor. From here, you can let go of your legs and extend your arms straight out in front. Probably feeling the core shake a little bit. And then if you'd like, you can extend the legs out straight into full boat. And then coming down. Let's plant our feet, bring our hands underneath our shoulders behind us, fingertips pointing towards the top of the mat. Lifting hips to the sky, reverse tabletop. Relaxing the neck back. Making sure you lift those hips and slowly, gently lower it down. Feet on the mat. Let's do boat one more time. So grabbing behind those hamstrings, leaning back, lifting the calves so that the shins are parallel to the floor. Letting go of the legs, arms straight in front, and then extending legs out to full length. Opening up that chest, engaging the abs, breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And gently bring it down. Now you can either do reverse tabletop again, making sure that wrists are under shoulders, or if you'd like to try something a little bit different, you can lengthen the legs straight out in front and then lift the hips that way into a reverse plank. Whatever feels better and more stable in your body today or accessible is great. And lower it down. Now from here, let's do a shoelace pose. We'll leave the left leg nice and long, toes pointing towards the sky. Bringing the right leg in and cross it over so that the heel comes close to the left hip and that the knees are stacked, right knee on top of left. And this may be good enough for you today. And if that's the case, that's great. And if you'd like a little bit more, I'll invite you to lengthen the spine on the inhale. And exhale over the legs towards the knee. Relaxing into the stretch in the back of your left leg. Leading with the heart, coming back up. Let's plant the right foot on the outside of the left knee, keeping the left leg long. We'll take our right hand and put it behind us. Take the left arm, using the right leg as leverage. So bringing the left arm in contact, basically just with the leg above the right knee. Elongating the spine on the inhale and gently twisting to the right. Looking over the right shoulder if you can. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale and twist, just gently, not too much. Bringing it back to center. Let's do a counter pose by placing both hands on the left side of your body. And just gently bending over to the left. Coming back to center, let's extend the right leg straight out in front. Left leg bends so that the knees are stacked, left knee on top of right, and the left foot is beside the right outer hip. Half shoelace on the other side. Nice and long in the spine. You can always stay here, or on the exhale, you can come over the legs with a nice long spine. And relax over the legs. Keeping that right foot flexed. Softening the shoulders down. And breathing. Let's lead with the heart, come back up. Planting the left foot on the outside of the right leg, just beside the knee area. Taking the left hand, planting it behind your left sitting bone area. Taking the right arm and hooking it over your left knee area, top of the left knee. Elongating the spine on the inhale, shoulders down away from your ears. Got to remind myself too. And exhaling and turning to the left. Looking over the left shoulder as you can. Elongating on the inhale. Twisting to the left on the exhale. Gently twisting forward and then bring both hands to the right side for a counter pose. Coming back to center. And let's recline back with our knees to the sky and our feet on either side of the mat, on the outer edges of the mat. Knees together. From here, let's take the right foot, lift it to the sky, and then cross it over the outside of the right knee, and then drape the legs to the left. You can bring your arms into goalposts or a T if you like. And just relax and breathe into the stretch in your, hopefully no strap is involved, that'd be bad, in your right hip area. Try to soften into the pose. Coming out of the twist, bringing feet to the edges of the mat, knees together. Taking that right leg, extending it to the sky, foot flexed, and then bringing the right ankle foot on the outer side of the left leg near the knee, and draping both legs to the right. And relaxing into the stretch. Coming back to center, placing both feet on the mat, but just below your sitting bone area, not on the edges of your mat anymore. Let's take the right leg, raise right foot to the ceiling, and then cross right ankle over the top of the left knee, so just on your lower front left thigh. Then bring the leg towards you and grab behind your hamstring. This is a reclined pigeon or figure four stretch. And if you like, you can leave your leg relaxed, or if you want to extend your left foot to the sky with your foot flexed, you can do that too. I'm more of a kind of low foot kind of girl, but either is great. If you want even an extra stretch, you can move your hands from behind your hamstring to the front of your shin, just below your knee. I tend to like that. It gives more of a stretch, but as you feel good, it's totally up to you. And relaxing your back into the mat and breathe. Then releasing your feet again to the mat. Bringing the left foot up to the ceiling, to the sky. Taking a bend in the knee and crossing left ankle over the top of the right knee or lower right thigh. Bringing that right leg in towards your body, either grabbing behind your hamstring, leaving your leg relaxed, or you can extend the right foot to the sky. Or if you'd like to keep your leg relaxed, you can reach and grab at the front of your shin if you'd like. It gives even more of a stretch. And relax your back into the ground. And breathe. And then gently unwind, bringing feet to the floor at first, and then bring legs straight out in front. Now at this point, if you'd like, you can either bring your sitting bones to a baseboard and do legs up the wall, or if you want more of a relaxing final pose. Or if you want something just a little bit more active and still want to enjoy the inversion, you can bring your hands, palms down, facing the mat, under your sitting bones, under your glutes, and then lift your legs to the sky. So legs is up the wall without the wall, if you want something a little more active. But the benefits are really similar, wall or no wall. It's enjoying the inversion, enjoying having the blood flow a little bit different than we normally have it, and relaxing into that. If you'd like something even a little more active, excuse me, you could lift the arms up. So arms and legs are facing the ceiling. I've heard that called bear pose. So the shoulders would remain on the mat in that pose as the fingertips go towards the sky. And a few more breaths here. And then let's slowly bring our legs down. And if you were near a wall, returning to your mat and laying down, relaxing your back, lengthening your legs out in front, toes facing away from one another, just gently splayed slightly apart. Shoulders down and away from your ears, chin slightly tucked, palms towards the sky in Shavasana. Consciously relaxing and letting go of any tension. And this might be a great opportunity to do a quick scan of your body, from your head to your toes. And maybe if you feel any tension, bring a bit of the sunshine from earlier in the class and the warmth to that spot. And intentionally and mindfully try to relax that area of your body. You could spend a little bit of time after class too, if that's helpful, and if you need a little more, if it needs a little more time and attention.